So I got a whole bunch of golf balls off Facebook Marketplace. Sent my sister up to get them. Guess this guy robbed a Top Golf or something. They're not all cut up or nothing. All look fine. I got 500 of them for $50. So we're gonna use those on like the driving range, and just kind of for a short game practice around the greens and bunkers, and how you just take 50 balls with you to a tee box and hit them there. But I've been slaving over this shit for about a month now, a little over a month, and all this stuff's got to get cleared out eventually, because there's going to be a tee box right over there. I just moved a whole bunch of wire fence out from this area. This entire area used to be a goat enclosure. When I moved back a couple months ago, it was so overgrown and disgusting back here, but I chopped it all down, hauled off the bullshit, and used it to make the rabbit pen. And how new green, still sort of needs to be mowed, grass is growing, and this is where I hauled all of the stuff that still won't burn. We've hopefully get a couple sunnier 60, 65 degree days to dry it out some soon to get rid of this, because this area is going to need to be put under construction too. And this is where I've been taking most of the earth with me up to the green site, and I sure wish I could tell you I had a better system than this, but I don't. A shovel right there, a dolly, and 2 buckets, and hundreds of trips from there up to here where our green site is. I dug out another bunker too, just to help the green defend itself a little bit, and also make the trip hauling buckets a little shorter. We got a bunch of rain, so it's sort of nasty down there, and I gotta dig that stuff that washed back in there out, and I still gotta find sand for all of it. But now we've got guarding the front right and right side of the green, 2 pretty nasty bunkers, and I actually have pretty much the whole shape of the green laid out here. This isn't done yet. This little hog's back is gonna run. It's kind of splitting the green into quadrants, where if you miss the pin that you're going for, it's gonna be a real tough putt. But this and the camera don't show you much slope, but that's solid 8-10 inches hump, and it's gonna go down another probably 10 feet halfway to the bunkers. And again, the rain washed a little bit this way, so I gotta kind of polish it back up before I go to put fertilizer and grass seed on it. But we've got, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, so let's get a little more oriented. Here's the very front of the green. It's probably 35-40 feet to the ridge in the middle, and probably 30 feet to where that hog's back is going to run to, splitting over this first section of the green. And then over here, everything feeds into these bunkers too and slopes toward them, so if you're off by a little, you'll end up off by worse. All this still, if you're off by a little, you'll end up off by worse than what you were expecting. All this still has to be kind of leveled out. I'm getting to that now because I'm kind of tired of hauling dirt and still got something to do. And then this ridge in the middle, and it's at least about 16-18 inches high, going on 2 feet almost at some points, like over here. But it splits the front and the back of the green off, and then there's a downslope from the top of this ridge going probably 6 or 7 feet down to there. You can kind of see where it runs back into a flat area. I've been hitting a bunch of balls back in here, and this is our back section of the green. So here it is. I mean, it's legit size of a real golf course green. We're just gonna split it up 3 ways and have at it. I still haven't done anything toward leveling this out or nothing. I've just been hauling earth exclusively for a couple weeks. But here's another look at the driving range in case you haven't seen it. A few more trees gotta come down to avoid ricochets. And again, here's our, oh shit, here's our green. I got a lot of shit to clear out where I want to put tee boxes at, and I gotta start leveling tee boxes and leveling the driving range and getting rid of the rest of them trees, and finally bringing in the last of the dirt here and polishing everything up to make it nice and flat the way I want it, not all bumpy and shit. And at that point I can focus on everything else, like the tee boxes and finding turf and grass seed and sand for the bunkers, while I wait on approximately first couple weeks of March to get here so I can put some zoysia grass seed down on this stuff and get to work on it. I'll take you back here and show you one more tee box. So that's our first tee box right there, where you can't see it great from here. Maybe this where it does. It's kind of right there's the front of it, and right there's the back of it. So you're looking at a little 50-yard pitch up the hill to maybe like a 65-yarder over here and a 75-yarder up there. And I want a tee box to go back here once this is cleared out, kind of where that shed butts up into the, or excuse me, where that playhouse thing butts up into the shed and the guest house. And there'll probably be another tee box somewhere in the area where all this crap is eventually, as well as one kind of sort of back in here. And the reason being, this will be a pretty difficult shot. You got pretty clear line of sight, that front portion, front left portion of the green, and I'd maybe clear out a couple of these trees. But if you want to get to the right portion of the green, that back portion, you got to take an aggressive blind shot over kind of that tree over there, and I'll get rid of these to make that possible. And the other tee box we've actually got done already is right here. This is where I was hitting a bunch of shots from. It gets really tough in the afternoon because you're staring straight into the sun from up here. And finally, I'm going to run around here to the front of the house and show you what'll be one of the last couple holes on the course. Got a little area where a tee box will go. I'm pretty excited about this shot because it's going to let you take a pretty full swing at something. All the first few holes will be, the tee box we just left from is a pretty full 60-degree wedge, like a 90-yard shot or so to get it to the back part. But I've also been hitting some shots from up here. This will be an L-shaped tee box that wraps around the tree, and this is what you're looking at. To get it really aggressive at the very front left pin, you kind of got to hit a draw through there to be working back to the left. The easier pin to get to will be the one on the right over here, because then you can kind of just play it through there, carry it far enough to cover that hog's back run through the middle, and it'll funnel that way, or just play a slight cut. The ball will be working that way anyway. And when you go into the back pin, for two reasons: just to make it even a little bit longer, and the second reason to actually give you a real good look at it. We're going to tee off from back over here, and then it'll actually be optional if you want to tee off from over here on that first pin too, to work yourself a angle, you can. But an L-shaped tee box around this tree, and they'll be, obviously, once the golf balls go live, these vehicles are going to be situated out of the way where they're not in harm's way. But this is what I've got to show for it for now. It's Still a lot more work to do. I gotta clear out all this area under this tree, all the way over to the guest house and shed, because that's gonna be where the vehicles are parked, to keep them away from the golf balls. So there's still a whole bunch of just crap and bullshit all over the place. That's where we're at on it, guys. Say hi to Donut. Alright, I'll be back to show you something later.